Oh. All right, you marvelous monkey. You petrified primate. Let's go this. Painting goo 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 goo. Painting goo 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 goo. Painting goo goo goo. It's painting fucking goo. Painting goo. It's painting goo. It's fucking goo. Painting me, painting you. Painting goo. Painting goo. Painting goo. Ugh. Painting goo 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 goo. Painting goo 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 goo. Oh, where's my sip sip? Ugh. Oh, glorious. It's painting goo. Painting goo. Painting goo. Ugh. I still have the sniffers. Painting goo. Painting goo. Painting goo. Yeah, my rungs are still for a friend. Painting goo. 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 Painting goo. Oh, God. Painting goo 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 goo. Painting fucking goo. It's painting fucking goo. It's painting goo. Painting goo. Painting goo. Painting goo. Oh. Goo 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 goo. It's RU today, Myro. I'm too ear. That's it. Remind the fairy mortals the meaning of beauty and honor. Painting goo. Painting goo. It's faking goo. Oh. Maybe I should just let the monkey play piano for you while I rest in the background. Oh, God. Oh, laughing hurts. Right. If you have any honor, you will pay the monkey. 'Cause I don't. Welcome to PEINTEINGU. Another fantabulous episode of PEINTEINGU. I am still quite ill, but I can feel myself getting better. Slowly but surely. My lungs are improving. Now, please excuse me Watched I descend into proper paintingu posture. Ah. Semi-smooth today. Bit slow, but not stiff. Glorious. Right. Today is a vexful day. A vexfer day. It's rainy. It's gloomy. I have prepared 2 boards for Emmanuel's Psycho Kitty painting. And they have not prepared the way I would like. Methinks it's the consistency of the paint I was using. I don't have a rot of burnt sienna left to do an underpainting, so I've been using the cheaper stuff. And it would appear that its higher concentration of plastic causes the paper to ripper beyond repair. It's not too bad. I mean, there was some rippering on Gary the Goose, and he still turned out all right. It's not too bad. There's still some air behind it that I do not like. But the ones I prepared today for Emmanuel's Psycho Kitty, when he turns up, they have not flattened out. And it is really annoying me. Really annoying me. I also ran out of masking tape yesterday, so I had to make a trip to the shops and was taken aback by the... What's the term? The overpriced. What's the term for something being like overpriced and taken advantage? It's like, I can't remember. But yeah, like fucking £6 for fucking masking tape. So it was like €12 for 2 rolls. It's ridiculous. Fucking €6 for sticky paper. So I'm in a mood today. Because I've been sick for days. Sleep has been shit. Board's not working out the way I wanted them to this morning. Similar to the computer. You know when you do something the same way? Groomy, hide your children. Hilarious. You know when you do the same thing like all the time? Especially with like a computer or something like this with the boards. Like I'm using the... Well, I suppose I'm not doing the same thing because I'm using a different paint. So there is that. But when something doesn't pan out, when something doesn't go exactly the way it did the day before, the day before that, and the week before that, all of a sudden something just comes up and it's just like, well, why is that not working? Trial and error and fixing things and all that jazz. Part of me was thinking that I might just actually like prepare a new board while on the stream. You know, just play the tunes, keep things light and playful as I walk away in the background. Because I don't want to start Emmanuel's Psycho Kitty painting on a substandard board, you know, because I am a professional, despite my appearance. Despite how it may appear, I am indeed a professional. Professional piss taker. I haven't had a cigarette since I woke up, so before the stream I was like, right! Time for some nicotine, because I am about to fucking lose my shit. Not really, I'm just a bit tired. I'm being a bitch today, being moany, because things are just not going the way I wanted them to go. But 'tis rife, you know, 'tis rife. So we shall continue with Polynesian Violin Garden, which I actually really like the name of that. Polynesian Violin Garden just kind of rolls off the tongue, at least when you're saying it normally. Polynesian Violin Garden does not roll off the tongue. It does not roar off the tongue. But it is, in my opinion, a hilarious title for fucking anything. Um, Even just looking at this, I'm like, it's nice and flat. It's stretched. It's nice and flat. Like, do you know what I mean? So why aren't you flat? You fuck. It's just annoying. But I have a feeling it's because like the gouache doesn't have that plasticky feel. The gouache has a. That's why I think it is. I think gouache is literally like a combination of the word goo and the words goo and ash. Whatever binder they use and whatever pigments they use results in a chalky, matte finish, which I love it. It is glorious. But these other acrylics I used. This one might be okay. You know, I might be being a bit picky, and this might flatten out when I throw some gouache on it and dry it out. So we'll try it when Emmanuel turns up. But if it doesn't work the way I want it to, I will restart it. Because I refuse to paint on a substandard board. Don't piss off the bee in gaff number 3. It's like... Oh, God. It's just one of those mornings where like I was like, oh, I have to do this and I have to do this now, and I couldn't just get up and start work. I had to get up and like do a load of different shit before I could even start working. So then I was short on time before the stream. So I'm just like, ugh, fucking bullshit. But anyway, it's not like I'm definitely suffering from first world problems today. You know, like, it's not like I had to go hunt for a few ounces of water lest my children die of thirst. But it's just one of those mornings. Or at least it was anyway. My sleeping routine has slightly improved. The sickness, the flu over the past week has really jacked my energy levels and sleeping pattern. But I can feel it is starting to fall back into place. Another few days and I should be right as rain. So, Dick Fordu, welcome. So today we return to Polynesia and we have a garden of violins to paint. It's beautiful, classical. Speaking of classical, to keep with the trying not to allow my anger and frustration to get to me so I don't project it through the fucking stream, I think we're going to go with the classical music that hits hard on this fine Thursday, which is usually reserved for metal, but I think if I'm feeling it later when we're doing the Psycho Kitty for Emmanuel, we'll switch it up to metal. But I think this would be nice for the moment. Actually, I remember finding something, one of those AI things. Did I put it in the playlist? I might not have. It's one of those AI playlists, and it was to do with it was like intense violin, but I suppose I don't want to go intense right now. What's that? Oh yes, spiritual breath, most beautiful dramatic part. Well, I suppose this is violin, so I should probably put this on. 11 hours, 10 hours, 59 minutes and 53 seconds of intense violin. Hilarious. First time I remember seeing something on YouTube that was like 6 hours long. I was like, how do you do such things? Let's see what this is like.
Want a Fanta?
No, not ads. Fuck you, Fanta. Club Orange for the win. Club Orange. Should I leave my bits in or take them out? I used to love those ads. They're hilarious. Painting goo 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 goo. Painting goo 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 goo. Oh, right. Let's paint some Polynesian violins, shall we? Of course, I've got to finish my cigarette first. Oh, God. Oh, did I just swallow some tobacco? Oh, God. Oh, sip, sip. Where's my sip, sip? This stream is not sponsored by Monster, nor will it ever will be. They could offer me all the money in the world, and I'd be like, no, fuck you. But now and again, I still drink it. Why? Because sometimes you need a chemical kick in the ass. Sometimes a cup of coffee just doesn't cut it. Right. Okie dokie. Where's my royal rag? Ugh. Now, if you could play violin like this for 10 hours straight, Jesus, imagine. I'd say that would be worse than tennis elbow. You know, just like just your arms going back and forth like this, like fucking 10 hours. Like, oh God. Oh God. Right. Oh. Painting go do 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 do. Okay, okay. Oh shit. Okay. Right, okay, right. Monster has shite in it. No thanks. Yeah, it's like, where are you, Dick Ford? Are you in the States? I can only imagine what it has in the States. At least it's just sugar in Europe. There's none of that like corn syrup shit. But yeah, there's a fuckload of chemicals in it, like. Vegetable concentrates. Maybe we're the fucking, like, what was that fucker called again? Paul from Pockets of the Future. And he's like, oh, I always have to read the ingredients on things. Well, good fucking luck trying to read the ingredients on a can of Monster. Like, isopropyl, citrates. Carbonated water. Bubble water. Don't worry. I have my lemon water to balance out the acidity. When I was on the way back from picking up the masking tape, I was just like, oh, fuck it. Can't be arsed. Gagan's been playing guitar for 800 years straight. He looks like it. Oh, that reminds me, actually, I'm on Hanging with Bears tonight with Stuntman again. Oh God, I should probably go for a nap before that happens later. Fucking energy levels are jacked. Alabama, yeah, like you guys like a can of Monster in America is like 10 times worse than it is in Europe. That doesn't mean that the European one is good for you, obviously, but I would much rather have a can of Coke or a bottle of Coke or something along those lines from a European store than an American store. Because I've heard that fucking corn syrup shit is like really bad for you. Like, but we also have a lot of stuff in our food that's like one thing I noticed in the last few years is that palm oil is like a staple ingredient in like loads of shit in the shops. To the point where it's kind of like, But anyway, let's paint. Enough talking. All paintingu. So I believe I shall begin with the sky is a bit blotchy. So we'll fix that right up. My paints are falling all over the place like loose books in an overpacked library. Right. I'm telling you, these AI playlists, dead handy. Paintingu Google. Paintingu Google. Paintingu Google. Paintingu Google. I need to put more layers of brew on this bitch. I didn't wait long enough yesterday to go in and start trying to blend it. I ended up with some black spots here. They're vexing me. I'm vexed. Oh, glorious. Paintingu Google. 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 Do. I'm sure you UK blokes don't have cyanocobalamin in your energy drinks, at least, aka B12, made from sewage foam. Painting. No, it doesn't have that in it, but it does have B12 though, as vitamins B3, B6, B2, and B12. You know, so I mean, one could speculate that, you know, what kind of B12 is it? What form of B12? Because there's all, remember that fucking shit about black mold? And it's like, when it says contains citric acid, one assumes that it's from some form of citrus, when in fact it's actually from mold. So of course that's glorious. I'm telling you, these people just don't give a fuck what they sell us. Like, we live in an age where it's like, fuck it, they'll buy it, who cares? And unfortunately, for a large part, they're right. Most people don't give a bollocks. I'm guilty of this. On occasion, I don't give a fuck. But, like I always say, all things in moderation. Sometimes it's good to not give a fuck. I often find it that sometimes the only way you mentally survive certain situations is if you just don't give a fuck. We live in a time where they use your, they use the fact that you care against you, you know? In a lot of ways. So sometimes it is better to just not give a damn. But obviously, one would prefer to give a damn in most instances. But when your giving a damn is being used against you, sometimes you need to switch strategies. It's a truly sinister strategy to use people's goodness and naivety against them. But it is an unfortunate reality. Painting goo 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 goo. Some badass violin, that is. Like. Violin with attitude. Oh, gross! Sewage. Bet you it was fucking Indians who came up with that idea. Oh! There's no doubt going to be plenty of gepus on today's Paintingu as a result of my indulgences. Okie dokie. Let's get the port and the instead of doing the Polynesian style stilted huts in the water, we are going to do stilted violin huts in the water. Painting goo goo goo. Do 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 do. Where's my burnt sienna? I do love that I can just whip out solid saturated. That came out wrong. I do love that I can just whip out solid, but like block saturated solid colors that are pre-mixed. Like, it's so handy. I've said it many a time. There's a pros and cons to the you know, to having tubes that you just like put some on the palette and mix it on the palette and stuff, especially with acrylics because they dry, you know. I could definitely see myself, as I've said before, I could definitely see myself experimenting with oils, because I've heard there's like techniques and modern ingredients, these mediums and fluids that one can apply to oil paints so that they dry quite quickly, you know, and they behave more like acrylics. But I am at that I'm at a stage in my art career where experimentation is not something I can afford right now. Right now, I must focus. A lot to do, a lot to paint. Paintingu. So there's going to be like a wooden bridge structure here, and you're going to have your stilts. It's like here and here. Make them nice and big up the front. Smaller as we're going back to produce the effect of perspective and distance, you know? Paintingu. Do is like have little platforms going out, and then we'll do the violins here as little huts. So do a nice big one here. Platforms that they're on. Paintingu. Coming out here. Platform hits on stilts. Thought it was hilarious. Like I was catching up on Owen's stream there. So funny to me. He's like the bulging eyes, the bulging like throbbing eyes, and the gore. Like gave me nightmares. Like it's what was he? He's like it's jarring. It's like. How to tell me you've never watched anime without telling me you've never watched anime, like. I've always found that anime is simply like, I think one of the reasons I like it so much, well, apart from being an artist myself and being interested in such things, but it's an exaggeration of reality. Is what anime is typically is, in my opinion. It's like a overzealous exaggeration of reality. I think that's why I like it anyway. But now I really have to force myself to finish Attack on Titan. I thought that was hilarious where he was like, oh yeah, I didn't watch it all, I just watched reviews of the last of like all 4 seasons, like. And I kind of get that, like, because like the first time I sat down to watch Attack on Titan, I got to like episode 17, I was like, oh, this is just getting too like. Sometimes I like my stories to be a bit simpler, you know. And part of me was also like, I want to see more of like the Titans trying to get into the city, you know. Because like, I think Attack on Titan has one of the most captivating and enthralling like first 2 to 3 episodes, and then after that it just really starts to like take off into this like, you know, fucking mind-bending shit, like, do you know what I mean? Which is really cool.
like if you stick with it, like it's awesome. Like I love all the characters. Your man Levi, he's fucking awesome. A cold-eyed son of a bitch who's like just really dangerous. I like your man Levi. He's really cool. Mad dangerous. The shit he can do with those fucking what do they call them? 3-dimensional maneuver things or whatever. Like it's just such a cool mix-up of things. Very very similar to what I was talking about Firefly yesterday, where it's like it takes many different forms of entertainment and like slaps them together. Imagine a lot of fucking people who are like big into Spider-Man or something, and then they see like every fucking warrior in Attack on Titan is essentially a bladed version of Spider-Man. Like, the first time I seen the 3-dimensional maneuvering equipment, like I was like, oh, that's really cool. What one of the coolest things in my opinion about Attack on Titan is it's in between scenes they'll throw up like almost like a mini loading screen, and there's like detailed like lore, almost like a manual to the lore or something, like, and the fucking like the art in that, and some of the concept designs and so on, it's just like, I mean, there's a lot you could say about anime for all sorts of reasons, but you cannot deny the artistic merit. Like, it's just glorious. The level of artistry in a not just Attack on Titan, a lot of anime, like, it's just like undeniably impressive. Like, for anyone who hasn't I only recently, like, was it like sometime this year I think it was, finally sat down and watched Akira. Fucking hell, what a movie. Really fucking good, like. Oh! Ah, I am Ambaru. Agamu. I can't help but picture you wearing a cape in a dark, candlelit room while painting to this music. Yeah, it's very Phantom of the Opera, like, kind of thing, like. What dark, melancholic machinations am I working on? I'm definitely feeling significantly better today, and I got kind of a decent night's sleep. Like, still kind of shit, but better than I have the last week or so. I'm definitely feeling a lot better. But I'm still quite ill.
Painting goo goo goo.
This bit dark. I'll go over it a little bit later. Just don't want it to be as transparent as it currently is.
Painting goo goo goo.
The omnidirectional suspension gear, I think it's called. Yeah, it's really fucking cool. You do indeed sound like the gay is fading away. Yeah. Yeah, I felt significantly better when I woke up today. But oh man, last night when I tried to lie down and go to sleep last night, oh fuck. Didn't go well at all. Ended up sitting in the bed a few times, just coughing up a lung. Definitely not the worst illness I've ever gotten. Over the years, I've gotten like far worse illnesses. So maybe that's a good thing. I like still get ill, but get less ill. You know. Where's my yellow? Naples yellow. Naples yellow. Methinks. Yeah, this bitch. That bitch? No, this bitch. This bitch? No, that bitch. This bitch. Oi! The consistency of each different color and paint, like it can vary because of what they make them with. Like, I think I'd say the reason I like burnt sienna so much is because it's like quite a natural ingredient from what I've heard. Like it literally is like a form of dirt. And there's the raw sienna and then burnt sienna. And it literally is like, you know, it's exactly what it says in the tin. It's just burnt dirt. It does have that nice kind of like earthy tone to it. I'll try and sit down and watch more Attack on Titan later. I'm on like season 2 or 3 or something at the moment. Because I do want to finish it. I also want to watch that thing that you mentioned, Stabaru, regarding Henry. Oh, excuse me. Never heard of it. Never heard of the movie. Do you know what? I watched the other day. Me and the missus watched it. Ghost Ship from 2002, I believe. Gabriel Byrne. Carl Urban, there's one or two other, like the guy that I think he plays Jesse or Joey. Is it Joey in Dexter? One of the guys that ends up dating Deb, the cop that ends up dating Deb. He's actually the bad guy in it. Like, spoiler alert. I like Ghost Ship though. It's like, you know those movies from like the early to mid 2000s that were just like, let's just make a really cool movie. You know, it's just one of those. It doesn't, you know, it doesn't try to send a message. It doesn't try to like have any kind of like moral fucking, you know. It's just a solid flick. And like, I really appreciate that when somebody just fucking makes a decent movie, like. I just think one of the things that I hate about most well, not most artists, like a lot of artists these days, especially the contemporary ones, where it's like, well, what does this painting mean? What is this painting saying? It's like, it is a painting of a duck with a shotgun. Fuck off. Like, just admit it's cute and cuddly and cool and badass all at the same time, and fuck your moral messaging. Looking at a fucking single stroke of a single hue of colour on a massive canvas and going like, oh, speaks to the soul. It's like, yeah, sure. Speaks to the soul of fucking... Speaks to depraved souls. This is what it fucking speaks to. What kind of message are you trying to send with this painting of a bucket on the head of a nigger? You know, like, I can't stand most of this shit, like. Just paint something cool looking. Just have fun. Just like I really do think that there's a very high likelihood that the 1,000 years of Christ have come and gone, and that's why we've all of this like really cool architecture lying around and all this shit, like. And then you look into the, well, not that you have to look into it, but then you look at the they're all called founders, you know. Oh, the founding fathers. It's like, well, what did they find? No, they founded it, like they built it, they made it, they began it. All right, well, why don't you use all the other words that describe something being having something begin, instead of finding it? And like the whole maritime law shit of like, it said like in when I was watching the Ghost Ship. They discuss, like, you know, maritime law, and maritime law is essentially finders keepers, you know, which is hilarious to me, you know. Well, we watched another movie actually with Gerard Butler, and I think it's the black guy who played Luke Cage in the Marvel series. Could be wrong. Pretty sure it's him though. But good flick, good movie. It's about like Gerard Butler is a pilot of a commercial airplane, and they crash on like some island in the Philippines that's just run by pirates, and there's like some geopolitical gravy in it, like where they're talking about, like, you know, oh, the Malaysian, or not, is it Malaysian? No, the Filipino military like won't go in there because they've gotten their ass kicked so many times, like, and that's what I was saying to the female. That's like, nobody really talks about that stuff, you know, where there's like, there are pockets around the realm, areas that like the Russian military, the Chinese military, the American military, like the big ones, like, you know what I mean, where they have no jurisdiction, they have no claim, they have no rule of law, like, you know, because this is where the term separatists comes from, where it's like they are separate, you know, they act of their own accord and all. They're like, you know, from our perspective, you know, the ones claiming to be in the right, it's like, oh, well, they're doing stuff, they're doing illegal stuff. It's like, yeah, but it's illegal to you. Like, you know, like when you look at the gravy in Pirates of the Caribbean with to do with the what was it, the East India Company and all, like, so you got pirates, you got in quotes illegal activity versus legal activity. But all legal is an agreed upon standard. You know? This is the stuff I find fascinating, where it's like, so if you can all agree not to go to Antarctica cause mo penguins, then why can't we all agree to, like, some form of religion? You know? Oh, well, like, you know, it's like, well, like, if you can just be honest with each other and just use data rationally. I mean, what is the evidence for a monotheism? What is the evidence for a polytheism? Do you mean, like, is it logical that there is a singular divine creator? You know, like, it's like, just adhere to logos, just adhere to logic. And then it's like, I can imagine the Christians are like, logos, that's ours. Logic is ours. We came up with logic. Like, Christ, God, Christ, Jesus Christ, God, the man himself. You know, that's where we got logic from. Bollocks. You know, that means that logic wasn't around before the Christians. That's a lot of bollocks, like. But they have that air about them, you know, where it's like, oh, logos, you know. It's like, isn't it all just stuff that makes sense to anyone with a moderate intellect, like? I find it all fascinating. We have, like, all these people who are just arguing over shit that, like, none of them can prove. Like the flat earth, globe earth debate. Oh, well, we're right. Why? 'Cause we said so. Like, how weak do you have to be to not be open to criticism? Like, I find that shit hilarious. Like, you cannot criticize our model. Criticizing our model means you're insane. Isn't your model just your opinion? You know, like, fucking all these, like, supposed great thinkers, and, you know, like, we got brought up with, like, Einstein and Newton and all that shit, and, like, the more you look into it, it's like, okay, so Einstein was a fucking cousin fucker, you know, like, so why would you trust, like, any of this shit, like? Or is that the psyop? You know? They put all these degenerates at the forefront of all this shit, so that when you figure out that all these fucking fake degenerates were the ones running everything, you come to the conclusion that it's like, oh, right, well, it must all be a lot of bollocks. But that's not it either. Because, as we know, best way to tell a lie is to use the truth. This is why sometimes I would prefer to be, like, you know, low IQ and retarded. Because, like, you just wouldn't give a fuck. Like, there's been loads of times in my life where I would prefer to be stupid. Like way more ignorant than I am, like. But there's always just that voice in the back of your head that's like, yeah, but it's wrong though, like. Something seems a bit off to me. You know, just eat the lollipop and put your helmet back on, like, just like. PEINTEINGU Google. PEINTEINGU Google. PEINTEINGU Google. His goo is not flowing enough. Needs more squirt. If you were in the USA and went to the doctor, they would say you have COVID. Oh, man, like, they'd say that here. They'd say that here, like. It's not just the US. Oh, glorious.
Painting Goo Goo Goo. Painting Goo 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 Goo. Painting Goo 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 Goo.
I want BB to do a review of regarding Henry. There are levels to that film. We're founders too. We found out they're really full of shite. Yeah. That's very true. Oh god. It's weird, like the last week I found myself like I'll go hours without feeling ill at all. Or even like, you know, you've been watching me on the stream, like I'll go a long period of time without coughing, and then all of a sudden it's like I have like pollen particulates in my lungs or something, like, do you know what I mean? You get that like tickle. That's what happened last night. Like, whole day I was fairly okay, like, you know. And then in the hour and a half to 2 hour period where I tried to go sleep and lie down, really kicked in. And then all of a sudden it was gone again and I was able to go to sleep. I find it odd. I mean, think about it. We live in a time where nobody can agree on God. So it's like, which God? Is God even real? Nobody can agree on science, our science, their science, false science, misinformation. Nobody can agree on where we are and where we live and what is comprised there within. You know, is it a ball? Is it a disc? Are we in space? Are we in a dark fluid? Like, all this shit. Like, for companies to turn around on social media in the last few years and be like, oh, there's so much misinformation. We've been raised and bred and, like, we've literally been raised with misinformation. You have lied to us at every turn about everything. Like, did nobody think that it was like, you know, so what's going to happen when the populace eventually cops onto things? Oh, that won't happen. Like, we've made them far too retarded with fluoride and corn syrup and all this fucking shit, like, and lead. Like, doesn't that tell you something? Like, all the things we're exposed to, all the things that we've, like, allegedly been throughout history and all, the human body and the human consciousness and the human species as a whole is, like, really adaptable and resistant to, like, poisons and lies and, like, all this shit. Like, you can be traumatized to fuck in various ways and still keep going. So, like, part of me genuinely thinks that there's a large probability, a high probability, that we are actually being kept in a pen by someone else. It could even be like us, you know, it could just be another, like, out of Attack on Titan. It's just different families, it's still the same people, like, you know. I mean, there's not actually much difference in the grand scheme of things between you know, like a Swede and a Chinaman, you know. They're both human beings, they have the same organs, like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's just the cultural shit, like, you know. Then, of course, you could argue, like, over a long period of time, genetically, some kind of environmental shit, like blue eyes or some shit like that, like, you know. But it's like, I lost my thought. Where was I going with that? Like, there's very little difference, like, do you know what I mean? It's like, it's the consciousness, it's the willpower, it's the behavior. Owen's so right where it's like, focus on the behavior, you know. You could totally be possible that there is a group of people who a long time ago just like set up a system where it's like, right, we've got all these people in this like pen, and we're going to give them the illusion of choice. We're going to give them the illusion of, you know, where they come from and what they are and what their history is and why they should not like each other for different reasons and stuff. Like, you know, it's like, to me, just like the United States of America could be described as some kind of social experiment. I think the entire realm that we are aware of, you know, on a level is some kind of experiment. Like, we're not just being farmed, we're being tested, you know? And then you have all the natural shit that happens. Well, I don't know. I mean, when you look at shit like HARP and CERN and stuff, it's like how much of it is natural. Like, back in the day, we used to have earthquakes every so often. Now we have earthquakes whenever they want us to have earthquakes. I mean, if you just correlate... Well, not correlate. If you like, go along the same kind of line of thought of, like, if you look at technology, right? So 70-ish years ago, the common form of entertainment was a pre-recorded, regulated, televised event that was broadcasted from a central location to everybody's homes who had a TV, who could afford a TV. And everybody would sit down at the same time of day and watch the same stuff, typically. And now, decades later, we find ourselves in a position where anyone can have their own TV program. That is essentially what this is. Owen has a TV program that, like, loads of people are really into, because it's very different from your average TV program. People come here and watch me do PEINTEINGU because there's not a lot of people doing what I'm doing. Sure, there's lots of YouTube channels that, like, I watch. I mean, like especially trying to learn better art techniques and stuff. But they're not, like, sitting here talking about esoteric shit. They're not sitting here painting something random out of a hat. You know, they're fucking... It's all very cookie cutter for the most part, like, you know. Now that doesn't mean it's bad, you know. But it's completely flipped. It's become much more individualistic. And as a result, in a sense, a lot harder to control. Which is essentially why Owen has been fucking traumatized in the way that he's been traumatized, is because a lot of people were like, oh shit, we can't regulate him. You know, like, so we need to just, like, get rid of him, you know. He doesn't give a fuck about money and stuff like that, so it's not like we can buy him off and shit like that. Like, and it'd be the same with me. I would be skeptical if fucking, like, even if Turner Acrylic Gouache turned around to me and was like, oh my god, like, we'd love to fucking sponsor you, like, if you just keep using our paints and keep telling everybody how great our paints are, and, you know, like, we'd love to give you like 30 grand a year to, like, promote our fucking product and stuff like that. I would be very skeptical. I'd be like, okay, well, like, who owns you guys? And, like, you know, all this shit. I would still, like, and it's just, they just sell paint, you know, like, but because of the way everything is gone and because of how everything works, I would still be like, I don't know. I mean, like, what if I say nigger? Are you guys gonna, like, pull out? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, because it's a Japanese company, it'd be so funny if they sent me an email. Hello! PEINTEINGU! We would love to pay you big money for you to promote our PEINTEINGU. So you gotta pull out if I say nigger. Ha! Fuck no! That would actually, that would make my year. If I had a back and forth between the CEO of Turner Aqua Gouache and me, and it was like, alright, well, what, you're gonna fucking, you know, like, turn on me like a rabid animal if I say nigger? And then I just get a reply saying, fuck no! And it's spelled PH. Oh god. Here's your lollipop, put your helmet back on. Take a number and hold tight. Yeah. Knicker, please. Oh man, yeah, like I would fucking... How funny would that be if Knicker turned around to me? Oh, that'd be brilliant. It's so fucking funny. I couldn't believe it when I looked up the name of that stuff. I was like, it's called Knicker. Like, of course it is. So fucking funny. Oh. My sincerest apologies for all the coffee. Be gone soon. Oh, glorious. Right, this stuff's repeating too much for my liking. Where are you? Where'd you go? Where'd you go? There we go. Ugh! What's this? Oh, fuck. Ugh. I am doing such like I don't know if any of you have noticed, but this is one of the most half-assed paintingus I've done in a while. I just don't give a fuck today. That's what I think is kind of funny about, like, for anyone watching me, like, intermittently, or like if they like see only one thing, it's like, dear God, this guy's terrible at painting, and then they see something like Gary the Goose or one of my symmetricals, and they're like, oh shit, that's really cool looking. Like I have both. I have like, call yourself a painter, and like, oh, that's kind of impressive. Like, ugh. I'm the grey man of painting. I've mastered the art of looking like a novice. What was I going to do there? Give me some white. Oh, fuck. Painting goo goo. Painting goo goo. Painting goo goo. Do 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 do. A heads up, there's a long weekend coming. and the female's sisters are staying for the long weekend until about Monday. So I'm going to take the opportunity to catch up on the big symmetrical and the turtle t-shirts and the good, the bad, and the chicken t-shirt and all, like. So I won't be doing. There will be no PEINTEINGU stream Monday. Monday coming, there will be no PEINTEINGU. So I'm telling you now, so the local samurai village doesn't freak the fuck out and start murdering the locals again, because we do not want a repeat of the last fiasco. Took us days to clean up the bodies. Are those violins or cellos? Pick one. Like, they're whatever you want them to be, Desmondu. Because I couldn't give a fuck today. Like this one's smaller than this one. Like, you know, like the perspective's off, the textures are off, it's all off. I couldn't give a fuck. PEINTEINGU goo 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 goo. I remember all the human sashimi left behind. It was such a gruesome scene. I couldn't eat noodles for days. That's more of a mint green. Where's my Viridian? There we go. PEINTEINGU goo 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 goo. PEINTEINGU goo 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 goo. This is what was playing while the samurai village was being ransacked. Or the local village was being ransacked by the samurai village. There's a samurai village, and then there's 3 surrounding normal villages. Every time there's no PEINTEINGU, the samurais lose their fucking shit. This is an unfortunate fact of life. Samurais don't get their daily entertainment. They lose their shit. And the local peasants pay dearly. But I refuse to kowtow to such wanton violence. So the samurais will learn, if they keep acting up, then there will be no PEINTEINGU for them. Hopefully that doesn't backfire. PEINTEINGU. Not many locals left. At this point, we'll need to ship in some tourists or something. Just, the Asians breed like rabbits. Give it 6 months. Be another 400 of them. It's like... Do you imagine if the gestation period of Asians was like just a few months? Like, it's like, this is why white babies are better looking and smarter. They take the full 9 months. Asians, 3 months. Blacks, depends on whether the parents have diabetes or not. Got to beat us? Say goodbye to your features. Oh, God. Macon County. Should I remove what I said? What did you say? When you don't provide them entertainment, they create their own. It's like... Kyoki-sama, there's no painting today. What shall we do? Shing! Yes! Like... No words need be spoken. Simply unsheath your katanas and prepare to remove the locals of their heads. I would make an insanely triggering t-shirt. Got to beat us? Say goodbye to your fetus. And it works in multiple ways, because people who get diabetes get their feet taken off. So it's not just like fetus as in baby, it's also fetus as in it rhymes with to be. Got to beat us? Say goodbye to your fetus. It's like one of the easiest marketing ploys ever, is just make something rhyme. Painting goo goo. The heads on posts next to the bloody parchment was a funny joke on their part. I mean, say what you will about rampaging samurais, but at least they're funny. Far more relatable than Nazis. Hilariously dark. I know, I think that's hilarious. Apologies. I can only imagine how loud that is your end. But if you expect me to mute myself every time I cough, you expect too much. Oh, God. These violins are so shit looking, it's actually starting to get to me. Seriously, I fucking love gouache. The fact that I could just go back in and just redo these, like, such a saving grace. These things are so trash looking. Painting goo 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 goo. Oh, gross! Painting goo goo. The chords on a fiddle and a mandolin are the same. Interesting. I know fuck all about music or musical instruments. Ugh. I'm a visual artist, not an audible one. Although, considering there are some people that just listen to this stream, you could argue the latter. Please to post this playlist in TG Chatu Domo. The one we're listening to right now. Yeah, I'll put it in later. Classical music that goes hard, bro. Ah, Emmanuel, you are a hero. I'm here. I'm here. I'm late. Ah, you're not that late. You know, I'm a bit of an audible autist myself. Ipon Sayanage for Tosa when you paint Psycho Kitty. And it's pronounced Psycho T Kitty. Oh right, I always keep. I thought it was psychotic. I thought it was psychotic kitty, but it's Psycho T Kitty. Oh god. Right. Yeah, the boards really didn't work out the way I wanted them to. So, Emmanuel. I prepared 2 boards, which is unusual because I usually only have to fucking prepare one of them. But I prepared 2 boards earlier on for your Psycho T Kitty. And because I'm using different paint as the underpainting, there's creases. You see the creases? So part of me doesn't want to start your Psycho Kitty painting on a shit board, but I will and see how it goes. And if I don't like it, I'll start it again. So my sincerest apologies for the fucking absolute state of that thing. You should have heard me at the start of the stream. I was bitching about it endlessly. I'm assuming there's too much plastic in those acrylics, and that's why I didn't flatten out. But whatever. I mean, I didn't do anything different this time, but it's just one of those days where things don't work out the way you want them to. So, right. Okay, clean you. Put you over there. Alright, so Polynesian Violin Garden. We'll return to that tomorrow. And I might completely fucking redo the violins, to be honest. I just didn't give a fuck today. Just didn't give a fuck today. Okay. Right. So hopefully when I put a layer of gouache on this and then dry that, it'll pull a little bit more and it'll go taut. But it's quite annoying. I mean, the fact that I went out and picked up more masking tape, I mean, I had to do that anyway, but like the fact that I went out and picked up more masking tape, came back, did one, and then dried it, and I was like, why is it wrinkling, like, you know, and then I did another one, and I was like, fuck's sake, like, I'm convinced it's because of the plastic content in the acrylics, because that just doesn't happen with the gouache. But it would make sense if it, like, I put too much of the burnt sienna. I have a few different acrylics. I've poster paints, they dry matte, but they're like gooey. And then I have these nice Zenicolor acrylics that are semi-matte, but they're, you know, they're acrylic, they're fucking plastic, like, you know. But that's why I love this shit so much, because this stuff dries completely matte and has a chalky finish, which is just glorious to paint with. Which probably tells me that I probably will enjoy painting with oils eventually. But there's also when you move to oils, there's all these, like, you know, the solvents and the mediums, and the, like, fucking shit gets really messy. But there is that added handiness of, like, it doesn't dry, so you could just put, like, colours on a palette and you can fucking reuse them for days. Paint on what you feel is natural for you. This is going down in the Museum of Kitsch Art. If it's gammy, then the historians will have something to bitch about. Yeah, like, I knew you'd understand that, like, when you're like, oh, I don't know if I want to paint on that, like, you know, we'll see how it turns out, like, but I'm gonna put a layer on this. I'm gonna do a little mock-up of what he's gonna look like, and then I'll dry that, and then I'll do a background, and then I'll dry that, and if that pulls it tight enough, good, but I have a feeling it won't, so I'll have to start it again. But I'm sure you don't mind me starting it again with the like the motivation behind me starting it again, like, do you know what I mean? Don't want you paying money for a shit painting, like, you know. All of my customers so far have been satisfied with their PEINTEINGUs. Don't want that to change anytime soon. So. Okie dokie. Where's the flat bitch? Once you start, I will stay silent. I will give no opinions or guidance. That's hilarious. I get why, like, you don't want to influence me at all. I get that. That's cool. Oh, this bitch needs to be boiled. This bitch needs to be boiled hard. Should do for the moment, though. Okay. So, what I was thinking was something along the lines of... It is a nice surface to paint on, but it's got fucking wrinkles in it. So if it doesn't go taut with this second layer like I wanted to, then yes, we will definitely be starting again. So my apologies that it might take a bit longer than I initially planned, but like I said, I don't want you paying for a subpar painting coup. I was thinking, like, one part of me was thinking meat cleaver, you know, typical sinister murderous psycho. You know, a bloody meat cleaver. Then the other part of me was thinking, what about a corkscrew? You know, like, if you just came into your kitchen one day and, like, your cat was just staring at you like a fucking tweaker, clutching a bloody corkscrew. That would be quite intimidating.
The search for energy savings.
The search for your silence is what I'm searching for. I look forward to my new kitty painting as well. Hard-boiled brush, an Irish delicacy. Demon is copying me. I protest. The second lot of cat paintings for Demon Hunter Bear and his missus was actually commissioned before your Psycho Kitty. So protest all you like. It's not my fault, nor is it Desmondu's fault that all these people want their pussies painted. Personally, I think it's hilarious. I'm painting all these cats. Be gone, Fry. Because it's a white cat as well. It's going to be interesting. Because I'll have to be careful with the shading. Because he still wanted to be nice and white. That, like, that titanium white. But then you still want to put, like, shading and shit in, like... At least to a degree. Because he's cartoon, you know, you don't have to do really complex shading. You can just do line work. And that'll give it the effect you want, like... Ever since you've commissioned me to do this, the Psycho Kitty, or whatever, like I can't stop thinking, I can't stop singing it as well. But there's an episode in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia where they come into the room and they're singing that song where they're like, Psycho Killer, qu'est-ce que c'est, ba 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 ba. And like I kept just singing to myself, Psycho Kitty, qu'est-ce que c'est. It's been stuck in my head, like. Okay. I've got the fan brush out and I'm going to slap a layer behind this. Slap a background on it and then I'll take out the hairdryer and dry it. Now if it goes nice and flat we're good to go, but if it doesn't I'll just start it again. Because I have a vision in mind and I think it'd be fucking hilarious looking. Oh, excuse me. Don't blame me, blame my female. She insisted on requesting one of her 2 new Maine Coon kittens. Ugh. I've actually got a few commissions at the moment. I got Griff wants me to do the family painting. Desmondo's missus wants me to do the new cats, and then Emmanuel's getting me to do this. So I think it's the first time I've had 3 commissions going at the same time. So business is good. I really like aqua green as a background. I think it makes everything pop. So, especially for cartoon stuff, it's a nice, like, bright, fun background. I give it one thing. This acrylic stuff is really nice to paint on. It's nice and smooth. So maybe I just used too much of it. That is possible. It's possible I just used too much of it, and that's why the page buckled to the degree that it buckled. But I mean, I think that's what's hilarious about being a professional artist, like an independent artist for a living, is like, you would assume, or you would think, it's like, oh, you're going to need to learn all these things, and like, you know, before anyone starts paying you anything, you're going to have to do this, this, and this. It's like, no, like, if you're good at what you do, and you have a style, and people like what you do, you can just like earn money while growing. And that is essentially what's happened to me over the past few years, is like, people get me to do cartoony stuff. Some people have bought some of my symmetricals, and I'm still learning the whole time. new techniques, different like mixes of mediums and stuff, and it's hilarious to me. Like, I obviously would think if I could have some form of master that I could apprentice for, would be glorious, you know. Actually being directed by some kind of mentor, I think would be much preferred, but it's not really the age we live in right now. As I was saying earlier on, we live in the age of the individual, which is cool in a way, but in another way it's fucking shit. I think this actually might work. It's almost like flattening as I'm painting as well. Like, gouache seems to have a firmer grip on the page. The truth is, I would never stand in the way of love for felines. Yeah, cats are awesome. I've never owned a cat, but I've always loved cats. I had a dog for years. A thoroughbred collie, like pedigree collie. Beautiful. Moody bitch, depending. But she was beautiful. Great dog. I never sell paintings, I suck at it. Well, like, what works for me is we don't live in a time where your average person appreciates fine art, and you're a fine art guy. Like, you paint in oils and you do these big things and you do these, like, you know, politically controversial paintings and stuff like that. Like, I mean, if people think I'm niche, like, you're even fucking more niche in that sense. So if you really want to, like, sell your stuff, in my opinion, do more. Like, you're really good at what you do. So, like, you could totally do, like, instead of commenting on politicians and stuff like that, you could try do a painting of like Superman in a tutu or something. Like, comment on how gay all the superheroes have gone, and like do a really cool oil painting of, like, you know, Batman wearing a strap on or something. Like, and I know that's something you do because you put like penises and balls in your paintings and all, like, do you know what I mean? So, like, there'd definitely be a market for, like, there's definitely a market for taking the piss of the superheroes right now, because everybody's so sick of what, like, Marvel and DC have done. Right, give me a few minutes while I get the hairdryer out. Is there a break in the tunes? Or have I gone deaf? Have I gone deaf? No, it's like, yeah, there we go. I agree with you on the age of the individual. I want to get a blacksmith. Yeah, I'd love to do blacksmithing. And it's not like, you know, obviously you could do stuff on your own. I mean, look at me. Like, I'm self-taught. And I'm fucking earning money on the fucking internet. Like, do you know what I mean? Granted, it's not a lot yet. But, like, the fact that I'm doing it is a testament that, like, it's not like the age of the individual is wholly a bad thing. But a lot of industries have become, like, atomized and, you know, over-industrialized, and it's just all about convenience and profit and shit now, versus, like, a focus on, like, really developing the craft, you know? Which just sucks in my opinion, but it is what it is. Also, Emmanuel, if you're finding it difficult to sell paintings, maybe you're trying to sell to the wrong people. You know? That could also be it, like. If you're trying to sell to a bunch of people who are, you know, fucking artistic purists and such like that. Especially in the age we live in now, where it's like all this woke shit and all, like. Art world is like... The art world is chaos. It's the age of authenticity. Your style is uncorrupted by a third party. Yeah, there's that too. You know, I'm not being told what to paint by someone who's like got a reins on me and stuff like that. I can paint whatever I want, whenever I want, for whoever I want. And like, if a customer is like, you know, being a fucking dickhead about it, I can just be like, fuck you, like, you know. There's definitely benefits to it and all, like. like, despite how much unbelievable madness has been taking place and is taking place, you know, it's like what Owen said before, where like was it the bell curve or the pendulum swing or whatever. It's like, I find things that, like, a lot easier to visualize, obviously, rather than articulate, despite the fact that I have a decent vocabulary and I'm quite good at articulating things. Some things are much easier to just visualize and shit, like. And while a lot of bad shit is happening, there is simultaneously a lot of good shit happening. But the stuff you see and hear and touch and experience as a result of all this, like, demonic and fucked up influence, typically what you see is the bad and the profane and the ugly and the false and the, you know, like, every time I upload a fucking stream to Rumble, every time, I'll get one comment and it'll be from a bot, and like and the bots try and convince you that they're not bots. Like, you know, note, this email is not a bot or a spam, like, do you know what I mean? Like, and it's always the same thing. It's like, and they tend to be grammatically incorrect. They're always like, oh, I love your stream so much, your content deserves so much more attention than it's getting, and all this shit. It's like, it's the type of thing, it's like Nigerian scams, like, do you know what I mean? It's like, it's the type of thing a totally naive, trusting person would fall for. And as a result of that, you've got a lot of people like us who other people think, you know, like, you know, we're like bitter and untrusting and, you know, crazy, even, depending on our opinion on a particular matter or some shit like that. But the reality is we've learned to not fall for traps. That's really it. Like, we've just learned to not fall for traps. And in that process, you can like, I've fallen victim to it. You can become quite bitter, in a sense. But it doesn't stop you from trying to be trusting and trying to, you know, have a positive outlook and remain not naive, but, like, you know, kind of have that childlike enthusiasm for things. Like, with the repeated fucking, like, the amount of times I've been, like, fucking, I've said a few streams ago, it's like fucking people trying to scam me, like, do you know what I mean? Like, I make fuck all money, like, I'm not a rich man, like, and there's people trying to scam me out of what little money I have, like. Nearly got scammed out of 200 quid because some fucker told me he wanted his kid's dogs painted, like, do you know what I mean? It's, like, what a horrible thing to do to someone, like. Most people look at your art with a confused pity. You mean this was painted by a chopper knob shogun show-off, really? It's such a talking point in a gallery. I'm kidding, can't a man rag you and troll you for the shits and giggles one? That's hilarious. I agree, a man must strive to articulate himself with precision and poise. Did you mean to say poise there? Or poesy? Poesy? As in, oh, like poetry, poesy? Yeah, I like trying to have an extensive vocabulary and knowing how to use it. Because it can be a weapon, you know? Gotta go take care of it. Bye, Margie! I'm sure she's gone already. But yeah, it's especially in a time like this where you have all these fucking liars and deceivers, like, to such an insane degree, like, do you know what I mean? Where, like, you need to, like, you have people going around, like, talking about, like, they don't even know what a woman is. You know, that fucking, what's that cook called? Matt Walsh, is it, or some shit? I don't know his name. Well, what is a woman? You know, like, and even in like fucking even in the government, like, you know, when they've had like meetings and shit about this, it's like you have a governor sitting there going, "Can you just give me a straightforward definition of what a woman is?" And they're like, "Well," and then they go off on this fucking just this dialogue of shit, like, do you know what I mean? That means nothing, just this empty word salad, like, and they expect you to be like, "Oh yeah, good point," like, do you know, "Oh, you're dead right," like, it's ridiculous, like, it's utterly fucking ridiculous, like.
Making real savings with Leia Healthcare.
I'll join thousands and thousands of thousands of things going to rip you apart. I had something there, but then the cough got in the way. It's a shameful place to be in when it's a shameful state to be in when you find yourself looking at people who are genuinely incapable of, like, you know, oh yeah, like a woman is a female human. You know, like, that's what a woman is a female human, and they can't even do that. They can't accept that basic fundamental reality, because if they do, they won't get what they want, and what they want is power. Like, that's basically what all of this is about, you know, is people want power. They want the power to make decisions that affect the lives of people around them and shit like that. Like, you know, they want the power to and the social clout. Social clout's a big one. Social clout's a fucking huge one. These fucking psychos are so hell-bent on being like, I'm the special one that people listen to. Like, similarly to Owen, like, do you know what I mean? It's like, if somebody started taking what the stuff I say on the stream while I'm painting shit, if somebody, like, turned around and was like, but you said this, so I did this, and it turns out you were wrong, so, like, I hate you now. It's like, well, that's your problem, isn't it? I mean, like, what you doing fucking, in the words of Emmanuel, listening to some Shogun LARPing redheaded knobend on the fucking internet, when it comes to, like, shit that will, like, really impact your life, like, do you know what I mean? Like, sure, I could give good advice, but I could also ignorantly and inadvertently give really shit advice about something. It's not my intention. My intention is to just speak my mind and, like, you know, be real with people and shit, like. But, fucking hell, I mean, like, it's like, there really is, like, this, overwhelming amount of people who are like, please, Daddy, tell me what to do. And I get it, because, like, part of me feels like that sometimes, where I'm like, oh, man, like, I'm sick of being in charge. Like, you know, I fucking, like, I definitely have a bravo side to me, like Owen would describe, where it's like, I don't want to be the one making the decisions. I want someone to go, do this and do it well. And for me to be like, yeah, no worries, like, you know. I know he's looking a bit grey right now, but don't worry. I'm gonna layer this bitch. Make him nice and fluffy. I don't know what I'm gonna put in this hand though. Okay. So you know what, I'll put this one straight up. Yeah, make him look a bit more ragged. He's looking pretty psycho already. Okay. What? You mean I'm not brilliant? I'm just duped by bots? Yeah, like... That's hilarious. A man no longer has the right to be wrong. I know, it's so fucking stupid, like... like, how crazy is that, like? Oh, I was wrong. Oh, how dare you? How dare you not be, like... wholly accurate about everything that comes out of it? It's like, fuck off! Like, what happened to... forget men, but people being fallible? Like, what the fuck? On the one hand, they're like... oh, like, we are so progressive, we're so advanced, we're so enlightened that we're cutting little boys' like fucking dicks off and little girls' breasts off and shit and calling it progress. And then at the same time it's like, oh yeah, it turns out I was wrong about that. You were wrong? Like, fucking... shows a level of insecurity that's fucking demonic, like. Okay. I'm gonna let this dry naturally, and we'll come back to it tomorrow. Or not tomorrow, sorry. I will have a look at it tomorrow and see if it's like flattened out properly. And if it has, great. But if it hasn't, we'll do them again. My boss just hauled me in the office. I thought I was going here something negative, but he thanked me and gave me 50 quid gift card. Never had that happen before. Yeah, well, at least somebody's having an awesome day. That's hilarious. Reiki do music? Yeah, the music's class. I don't play this playlist enough. Okay. My beloved Japanites and all you other filthy mortals. I'm gonna leave it there. Tomorrow's Friday. So, it's just your regularly scheduled painting goo tomorrow. And we will be returning to, what's it, fucking Polynesian Islands and doing the violins. And then, there won't be one Monday. So, I might do some work on Gary the Goose on Tuesday, because there won't be a Monday stream. And I might do some work on this off stream as well, because I do like doing the cartoon stuff. I love doing the cartoon shit. It's what I do, you know. So, but so far I like the energy off this. It's just, like fuck. That's what I had in mind, was just this like stank-eyed fucking like like pure psycho kitten, like. But we'll see how it ends up. And if I feel like restarting it, we'll restart it, like, you know. But anyway, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed today's painting goo. I will return tomorrow, same time, same place, same high octane painting energy. Believe you me, you have never watched paint dry like this before. So, in the meantime, remember, be good, be true, and be beautiful. And pay for painting goo. Many links in description. So, saya fucking ara. I'll see you tomorrow. You're most welcome, Emmanuel. You're most welcome.
Tutors!
You've never heard paint dry like this before either. Definitely.
Painting goo 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 goo.